Hi, I'm Adele Michael, and I would like to help you release a money block today. This is an exercise that's very simple and very effective, so I hope that you'll play along with me. So, what is a money block? It's a belief, a thought, a memory. It can come from your family, your own experience, your society, and your lineage. And it can stop you from having more money, from believing that you deserve more, and it can lead to difficulty in receiving. So, an example of that might be if you experience poverty as a child, that may be a mindset or a reality to you that you're always going to be struggling with money. Or maybe you were born into a very wealthy family, but money was used for power or for manipulation. So you may not feel as powerful or as potent with money as you would like to. It could be that your lineage came from a place where there was a lot of war or famine, and that's deeply embedded in your family history and actually in your DNA. And as long as it's hidden there, you don't know really how to deal with it. I know for me, having money blocks were things that I made up. It's like, well, I'm not as valuable as my brother, so I don't deserve as much. I made that up. And it was reinforced by my family. And so I've taken time to really unwind that and give myself a new sense of my worthiness. Um, I think we're very fortunate to be living in this time where there are so many different ways to unravel the past, to unravel the blocks that we have. This one is from neurolinguistic programming, also known as NLP. You may have heard of that before. And it helps you access your subconscious, where all the memories of what you've experienced, what your family has experienced, what you've been taught from the society. It gives you access to that, which is much more beneficial than just thinking about it. I don't know about you, but I've not ever really been able to think myself out of a problem or out of an issue. I've always had to go into the subconscious, into the part of me that knows everything that I've experienced and that I'm believing. So this is a very simple, very easy way to do that. So I hope you'll play along. So if you have a sense of a money block, it could be something that you think, or it could be something that you feel, or it could be something that you believe. If you would identify that, what it is, and maybe give it a rating from 1 being, it's not a problem, to 10 being, this is a really big problem. So find a money block, and it could be something as simple as, I can't seem to make ends meet, or I can't make more money in my business, or I always seem to have more month than money. Whatever it is for you, just choose that and rate it. 1 being no stress, 10 being very stressful. Okay. So imagine that you can gather that energy, that thought, believing, experience, and put it in a container on an imaginary table in front of you. Just gather up all that energy and put it in a container in front of you. And we're playing make believe. So you just make this up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it up. Put it in a container. Put the energy in the container. Now I'm going to ask you some questions, and you may feel like you're making up the answers, and that's perfectly fine. What size is the container to hold all of the energy that is around or represents this money block? How big is the container? If you could touch the energy in the container, what would its texture be? Would it be smooth or rough or slimy or airy? What do you imagine the energy texture would be? Would it have a temperature? Would it be warm or cool, neutral, hot, cold? Would it have a color? Would it have a sound or vibration? Is it consistent or does it come and go? So now you have an idea of what this energy is like. And this is a representation from your subconscious mind of how you represent this money block. Now, I'm going to ask you in just a moment to allow it to go to the light. It's going to go out to the horizon into this vibrant light that is going to transform this energy into something much more helpful for you, much more supportive. You don't need to hold on to this energy in this form anymore. You can let it go to the light and be transformed and come back in a better way for you. So on the count of 3, you're going to imagine that the container goes out to the horizon, to the light, and is bathed in this beautiful, radiant light. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. It goes all the way out to the horizon. You can imagine it being bathed in the light of truth, of abundance, of love. It is being transformed, and now it comes back to the table in front of you, and it comes into a container. It could be the same container, it could be a different container. And I'm going to ask you to notice how it's different. Is the size of the container different? Is the temperature of the energy inside the container different? Is the texture different? What differences do you notice in the color? Is there a sound or vibration now? Is it consistent or does it come and go? This is a new representation, a new way for you to be in a different situation than before. Now, if you would rate this on how this feels, from 1 being no stress, 10 being highly stressful, notice if there was any change. Is there a change in how you would rate it? Now, ask yourself, how would I like to use this energy? How would it support me in the best way possible? And now, if you are ready, I will ask you, is there any part of you that would not want this as your new way of being? This transformed energy, is there any part of you that would not want this? If there is, there's more work to be done. If there's, and by that I mean there may be parts of you that are trying to defend you, or trying to protect you, or trying to make sure that you don't get hurt again. And that calls for deeper work than we can do right here, right now. But if you are ready for this to be your new way of being, I'm going to count from 1 to 7. And on the count of 7, you will integrate completely, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, this as your new way of being. More supportive, more helpful, more encouraging for you. On the count of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Integrating completely now. Feel that happen. And I'll give you a moment for that. Good. Now, imagine using this energy, being in this state of being tomorrow morning when you stretch out between the sheets as you awaken. Notice any differences. Imagine it's a week from today, and this has been your new way of being for a whole week. Notice any differences. Imagine that you're facing a situation that in the past was challenging for you, and notice that you're approaching it in a different way, and notice any differences. Good. Good. So that's the exercise of releasing a money block. You can do it for any kind of block. It doesn't have to be money, but since many of us are interested in having more money, I thought this would be a great place to start with releasing. If you'd like more information about the work that I do, please go to my website, Adele Michael. Whoops, I never can get this right. AdeleMichael.com. You can apply for a free consultation there if you would like. And I appreciate your watching this video. Thanks, and here's to your abundance.